Happy Heeloween, everybody. I'm Impact Dude, and I'm back with another installment of the Impact Rundown. Now, I hope everyone had a safe and fun time while cruising the streets for candy, and I certainly hope you filled your pumpkins with loads of good candy. Speaking of cruising, did you know the Chris Jericho cruise happened this past week? And congrats to the Lionheart because he sold out his cruise and apparently put on a heck of a show in the process. Word on the street is that the dream match between LAX and the Young Bucks was off the charts, and the Impact versus Ring of Honor match had an unpredictably predictable ending that is sure to entertain fans from both promotions. Now, if I'm going to talk about entertaining and Chris Jericho, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this man, Eli Drake. Raise your hand if you were totally bummed out that Chris Jericho didn't confront Eli Drake at Bound for Glory. I mean, if a big Bound for Glory playoff wasn't the plan, what in the WWE are they doing with him? I mean, seriously, folks, doesn't this seem like the way WWE would book talent? Be somewhere, Meet Mahan is smiling. Well, I'll tell you who isn't smiling. The bean counters in Impact Wrestling. You know, the ones that are counting that ad-sharing revenue that Dixie told the judge was so critical to part of the company's future during the Billy Corgan lawsuit. Yeah, this has just turned out peachy. Folks, look, Impact Wrestling ratings are at an all-time low. 10 p.m. Eastern Time is not a good thing. Let me repeat that, folks. It's not a good thing. Those that say it will help on the West Coast apparently forgot the bulk of the country lives on the East Coast. Now, color me stupid, but the reason seems pretty obvious to this podcaster. Now, I know someone is going to tweet this to the Golden Bookers, so for their sake, I'm going to keep it simple. The product has turned into Ring of Honor Light. Some may call it Lucha Underground without the underground. That's probably fair too. But here's the thing, folks, and listen close. Those that are 1 hour shows. Let's go over that again for Big Don. Those are 1 hour shows. Impact is, well, a 2 hour show. That's 2 hours, Ed. 2 hours. And Scott, you can't book a 2 hour show the same way you book a 1 hour show. Can't do it. It becomes a sporting event, and people get bored just watching matches for 2 hours. I mean, it works great for 1 hour shows. 2 hour shows, not so much. Now look, Sanjay, I know you don't believe me, so I've got 3 words for you. World Title Series. Yeah, that thing. Remember that? Because I wish I didn't. So the $1 million question is, what should they do? That's what everybody wants to know. Well, folks, it's simple. Keep the in-ring product because everybody loves it. Hey, y'all nailed that part. And add storylines. And one other thing. This is for Josh's sake. Close the show with a hook to get folks to return next week. Josh works his butt off. The least you all can do is make it an easy close. And that brings me to the close of this rundown. If you haven't already checked out the show, what are you waiting for? Johnny Impact versus Phoenix was fantastic, even if the OG's attack was kind of random. The athleticism was amazing. The drawback was that it was randomly booked and didn't seem to make a whole lot of sense to put Phoenix in that spot when he consistently eats pinfalls. Moose and Eddie Edwards was entertaining, and KM and Falaba versus Moose and Superstar in Waiting Killer Cross. Folks, remember that. Superstar in Waiting Killer Cross easily exceeded this podcaster's expectations. The rest of the show, well, seemed like an episode of WCW Saturday Night. Or an episode of Ring of Honor. Whatever suits your fancy. Okay, folks, I'm out. Until next time, I'm Impact Dude. Have a great Heeloween, and I'll catch you next time.